In this video, we're going to go over how to edit clips down a little bit more than we did previously. On our computer here, I've got all of this footage from a project, and it's a ton of stuff. If I start dragging these clips out onto my timeline, we're going to see that it's going to be pretty long overall. Also, if I browse through these, there's a lot of unwanted time, maybe at the beginning of a shot or an end of a shot before, as I'm kind of moving a camera around, that I don't want in my final video. So some of the ways that we can get rid of that is, once we've got this footage here, let's say I just want maybe a little bit of this shot of my wife and I and our dog walking out under the dock, but I don't want this like 15 seconds at the beginning. Well, what we want to do is we want to set an in and an out point in our source monitor. And what this does is it tells Adobe, hey, if I were to just drag this down to C, it's going to drag that entire clip into our timeline. You can see this thing is, a minute and 54 seconds long, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna get rid of that here. So we wanna set that in and an out point and say, hey, we just want this maybe 10 or 12 seconds here. And we do that up on our source monitor, and you can do that here with the Mark In tool. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to scrub forward a little bit in my timeline or in my video. I'm going to mark out. And you can see that there's kind of a highlighted little section here. What this is doing is it's telling Adobe we only want to focus on that little section right now. So when I click and drag this down into our timeline, you can see I've got a tremendously shorter video. This is only 10 seconds long or 9.5 seconds long. So way, way shorter. And you can also do this in your timeline if you would like. So I'm going to clear this. Let's clear that in and out. I'm going to drag this down into my timeline. You can do this with the razor blade tool if you hit C, or go over here and find the old-timey razor blade tool and make some cuts where you want, and then delete the other footage. And now we're left with just that, 9 or 10 seconds that we want there in the middle. I'm going to undo those real quick. We can also, just by using kind of the click and drag tool here on our timeline, we can click and drag that ending, or the beginning over rather, go to where we want this to end, and then we click and drag the end of that footage over. And what that's done is it's kind of cinched up the beginning or the start to our clip, and it's brought over the end to our clip as well. Once you've got a bit of a sequence created, you can start editing the stuff around a little bit too. You can do this exact same stuff with your audio files. You can see here, I'm going to shorten this audio file up, and you can move this around however you want. You can do this with an image. I've got an image here, and I can, make that shorter, or I could make it longer if I wanted. Now, some of the things to be aware of is as you're doing this, the video file is only going to show whatever the top layer is here in our timeline. So you've got video tracks 1, 2, and 3 that it defaults to, and then audio tracks 1, 2, and 3 as well. All of that audio will play through. So you'll be able to hear whatever's going on through both of these clips right here. But the video, as you can see, I'm just going to mouse over this. It's only going to show that top folder, or that top file. So you can see as I browse through this, as soon as it hits that image, that's the only one that's showing through. So you just want to be careful that you're not covering stuff up that you don't want, but you can sit here and use these tools really easily to make clips the duration that you want and get those into your sequence and start editing your videos. So that's a quick primer on how to begin editing your videos in the timeline in Adobe Premiere Pro. If you have any questions about that, please let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and we will see you next time.